Okay.
The dark alleys of New York City. New York, New York, good old New York, a place that never sleeps. As I walk alone in the dark, dingy, narrow alley, the night comes upon me. My legs trembling, tall shadows follow me. I'll never get over this feeling no matter what place they put me in. I'd rather do guard duty or give something speeding tickets. A shortcut? Why does one take shortcuts, especially through dark alleys? My stomach now making gurgling sounds from hunger. I wish I had stopped at Dunkin' Donuts with the guys and had coffee and a donut. I stopped dead in my tracks. I could hear sounds of bloody screams echoing in the night. 1 minute I'm alone, then 1 minute there's a crazy druggie wanting money to get that quick fix or high. Or a drunk in my face wanting money to buy a fifth of cheap whiskey to keep his lips hydrated, filling his veins with wine instead of blood. Deep down in my gut, twinges of fear still crawl to my every nerve of my body. I can't get the thoughts out of my mind. Of all the dangers in the night, my heart feels like it's going to burst, but still I go on, like there's no end, hoping to find no one waiting at the end of the alley. I close my eyes just for a second, thinking of a juicy steak and glass of wine. Then open them up quickly. About 20 feet in front of me, I see a reflection of a knife. Or maybe it was a gun. I felt every inch of my skin crawl. My throat locked up like I was going to choke. I lifted the gun from my holster and my finger on the trigger. I was ready for whoever was going to jump me. Quietly, I walked slowly towards the end of the alley. I heard steps coming towards me, just a little too loud. I said, "Damn, it's so dark." I took my flashlight, too. I was on the ground. I could hear a dog barking near. With my hand on my head looking up, and standing over me was a thug in the night. Really pissed now, I yelled. "What the hell?" With my gun out of my holster and my finger still on the trigger, the thug raised his arm, ready to strike at me with a wrench. I quickly pulled out my gun and sent a bullet to his arm. Bang! Yeah. The noise echoed through the alley. Down went the thug. He spread out on the ground, bleeding. He grabbed his arm. Before he could do anything, I jumped up, then kicked him in the family jewels. He screamed, then he sat up and grabbed his family jewels. Nuts, balls, testicles, whatever you want to call them. From the look on his face, I think the kick in the jewels hurt more than the bullet to the arm. Once again, my finger still on the trigger, I pointed the gun at him and said, "You're lucky this time, you little bastard. If I really wanted to kill you, I could have. Look at you. You're nothing but a damn kid. You disgust me. But you know what? I really feel sorry for you. Now get up and get the hell out of my sight. Go home. Then look at your mother and tell her, 'Mom, I love you. I'm sorry for all the shit I've put you through. Tell her you promised to mend your ways.' He looked at me and then said, 'You're not going to call the cops.' He went to get up, then I grabbed his arm. He screamed and said, 'You're hurting me.' He took another look at his arm and he said, 'Don't you think I need to see a doctor?' With my flashlight on him, I could see he was looking quite pale. I said, 'No, you don't need to go see the doctors. Go home, have your mom look at it. She will take care of it. I just nicked you. You were lucky it was me who shot you instead of one of the gangs who linger here in the alley. Like I said, if I wanted to kill you, I would have. How old are you anyway?' Looking at me, I could see the color coming back, and he then said, with one hand still holding his family jewels, and the other one holding his arm, 15, and I don't have a mother. My mother and father got killed in a car crash years ago. I live in a foster home. I had enough of that place. I was tired of getting kicked around, so I left. Me and my dog, Skip, was on our way to the bus depot. Then that's when you came along. I didn't think I was going to run into a cop. I wanted to go to my auntie's and my Uncle JJ's place in New Jersey. They have a farm there, you see, and about 2 weeks ago, I found out they had written a letter to me and told me they wanted me to go and stay with them as of yesterday. I found the letter in the wastebasket. It was from my aunt and uncle. That's when I made up my mind to escape this dump. He looked around, then saw his dog about 20 feet away from him. He yelled for him. Then Skip went to his side. He bent down to give him a hug. The dog licked his master's face, and all was better. I smiled as the two found each other once again, walking down the sunlit. I looked at the boy in front of me. Yes, he looked 15 in a dark alley. I couldn't tell if he was 15 or 40 as I watched him hugging his dog. Carpal tunnel. Feeling bad for him losing his parents, I said, I'm sorry to hear about your parents, and I'm sorry I shot you. With the flashlight still shining on him and limping, I don't know if I'm talking Southern or New Yorkin. Half smiling and half hurt, and he said, and are you sorry you kicked me in the nuts? He said ever so quickly as he turned red in the face, laughing. I showed him my badge and told him, as of tomorrow, I'm no longer a capper. I'm all done with this job. I want a day job. I don't like the dark alleys and thugs in the night. I hate this job. I'm calling it quits. This is not for me. I want a day job. By the way, what is your name? Sam. Sam Banks. I shook his hand and said, my name is Mina. Backing away, he let go of my hand, then said, this is crazy. I've been shot and kicked in the nuts by a female copper, and you want to be friends. I walked away, not looking at him, then said, look, I can take you in for hitting a cop, or I can let you go. Which is it? With a twisted up face, he asked, won't you get in trouble? Nope, remember, I told you I quit my job, starting tomorrow, that is. Just let me take you to your aunt and uncle's farm. Only if you promise not to come back to the city. Okay, I'll let you take me to my aunt and uncle's. And I'm sure as hell I won't be back here. I hate the city. Walking next to me, I could see Sam's reflection casting shadows in the dingy, dirty walls of the alley. And I knew right then and there, this was the last time that anyone would ever see the two of us in this dark alley. And to the lighted streets, I saw the sun's reflection hovering over the tall buildings of New York, the place that never sleeps. I got on my police car with Sam sitting next to me. I called the police station to let them know I would bring in my badge and was off to find the day job. Some place where it was going to be quiet and the nighttime would be fearless. I got in my car and shut the door, then said, okay, Sam, let's go find your aunt and uncles and tell them you want to come home. I sped off with the convertible top down on my MG, and off we left for New Jersey, to a farm where Sam and his dog Skip will be away from the dark alleys of the noisy city. This book is heavy, and it hurts my hand, but it's a good book.